I am the American Rev Zechariah A Jackson from the church of what's happening now. Again, we are out here in the city of Newark, and we are at the Lincoln Memorial following POP, as you see me following them many times. Today they out here protesting the verdict of what happened to Michael Brown. Who am I interviewing?
Alfred Dill.
Bring your voice up.
Alfred Dill.
Alfred Dill. Alfred, what do you think? Give me your thoughts on this whole thing. What did you expect? Did you expect some kind of verdict?
Well, tell you the truth, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but I'm gonna pay close attention.
Sure.
Because historically, it seems like this keeps happening. The same thing continuously happens.
Okay.
So we gotta go back a little bit in history and understand, like, when we say organized,
sure,
and when it takes proactive,
sure,
to get proactive,
sure,
we gotta be organized. Like we could take a book from a piece from the Montgomery, Alabama boycott.
Sure. Okay.
Every black person was dedicated to that.
Sure.
So they crippled the bus company,
okay,
even the economy of Alabama.
Right, at that time, though, you didn't have black people on the jury. At
True.
that time, we didn't have black people at law enforcement as we have today.
True.
Okay, we had 3 black jurors. 3 people that were black on the jury.
True.
Did you expect something or some kind of support? Do it matter that you have black on the jury today? Because it don't seem to matter. Because I'm gonna do the hour. They were black up in New York on the jury. So what did that do to a young man like yourself? You're a black young man. Do you feel you're a target?
Absolutely, and I feel that my voice and my opinion kind of gets marginalized or against a lot of the effects of this country,
sure,
you know, and things that we're supposed to address a long time ago still ain't being addressed. So we're gonna still have these outcomes, and then black people outraged,
sure, and
we're not saying go around rioting and looting. We have to have some type of organized proactiveness against that. That's what I feel.
Let me ask you this first. As a young man, are you afraid of the police?
And you know what? I had a conversation about this with my fellas the other day. We were standing on the block.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we feel afraid and paranoid when they pull up, other than being feel protected.
So are you?
Yes, I am
afraid of the police. So if you're afraid of the police,
yes,
right, who is actually law and order in most of the communities in America. Okay,
absolutely.
Let me put it that way. Then where do that put you? You walk in as a young person, a young black man. What age group are you?
I'm early 30s.
Early 30s. So you're walking, you're tightrope through this whole thing of life in the United States of America.
Absolutely.
So as you tightrope, do you feel that you may slip and fall?
Yes.
And what pressure do that put on
no,
you?
it's actually it's a form of paranoia. And then, you know, like the ones before, like my mom said, she always told me, get a good education,
sure,
get a good job, right?
Sure.
So I went on that path.
Sure.
And then coming into that path, going and say, okay, going to corporate America,
sure,
and me being the only white, black face,
sure,
or like you're saying, walking around and feeling tightrope about the police
sure,
coming attacking me. I have never did a crime, I never have no criminal record in my life.
But you're paranoid.
But I'm paranoid.
So if you're paranoid at this point of challenge, in your 30s, you have kids yet?
Yes,
one kid. Son or daughter? Okay. So daddy, with daughter, with good job, is still afraid of police and who's supposed to be law and order.
Absolutely.
So where did that put you psychologically?
Psychologically, it has me confused. It has me confused towards, like, I think about the government, and I think about our president, I think about our political officials and leaders, and I say, well, what did my vote do? Like, did my vote put certain people in office,
sure,
to combat these issues,
sure,
to address these issues?
Sure.
Why are they still not being addressed?
Sure. Sure.
So it has me confused and paranoid, and it's like, all right, now I'm thinking about the future, and what do I do? It's like, you know, do I say, oh, let me get my stuff together and let me move to a neighborhood where I think it may not happen, it's gonna happen again. So if I say I get a great job and I move to suburbia and I move around there, then of course I may be the target. And I may have more money than the Caucasian brother who lives next door to me. But they're gonna look at me and they're gonna say, oh, that black kid who wears his hat backwards.
Or even if you don't wear it.
Or even if I don't wear my hat backwards.
So you don't know where to go.
Absolutely.
Have that chase you into any other form of relief? Has it chase you into alcohol? Has it chase you into wanting some kind of synthetic food, some kind of anesthesia in terms of drugs?
No, it just...
Has it put that pressure?
No, it just has me...
What do you do for pressure?
I try to seek answers. And I try to do as much knowledge and research about what's going on as possible, historical and current, to know how I can move. And it becomes upsetting, and it becomes, you know, like I said, I become paranoid, and I say to myself, like, when do things change, you know? Like, what do I do?
When do you know that?
And so it becomes really confusing, and really becomes hard to make a plan for the future. So,
do you think that this year that the police department, by some kind of strange logic, someone is using it as a bully?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's some form of, even as a young child growing up, I always felt like the police were like evil. Like, yeah, more of a bully, because it's like, you know, even like my aunts used to play around. You better not be bad. I'm gonna call the police. We get the police on you. Or you come outside. Even my little daughter, when we drive by and she sees sirens, she automatically says, "Oh, Daddy, the police. Something bad happened." You know, so I do think that some kind of things are being pulled, because, you know, of course we have crime and we have drugs, but poverty gets those things. So if we're in a community with a lot of poverty, then of course we're gonna have crime, we're gonna have drugs.
But do you feel as a young black person that perhaps when those accidents seem to happen, where one is shot down on coat, or where one is viciously beat, that is always a person that perhaps maybe are not really the person that done it, because the one that actually did the crime, like, they don't seem to be the guy that rides up and down the street that's a purveyor of filthy drugs, he don't seem to be the one that get accidentally shot or beaten.
Yeah,
it's always the guy, you know, that's just coming along.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
What does that do for innocent mind of yours?
Oh man, it always has me looking over my shoulder, not only for evildoers, but for police. Like, you know, how I know, like, even when knowing your rights, if you say something to a police officer in a manner where you're trying to defend your rights or tell them that they're wrong for doing something, they automatically get aggressive and say, "Oh, you need to be quiet, you need to get out of here, or I'll lock you up." So they always, like, you know, become aggressive and threaten you with locking you up and doing something like that, and it makes you fall back and say, you know what, I'm not gonna address it, or I'm not gonna say nothing. Or a lot of people, they just say, oh, that ain't my issue, and they keep their head down and they say nothing. How long? In 2015, we're still doing that?
Yeah, in a few months, another month is 2015.
10 to 15?
Yeah. So, do you feel that maybe, because this is becoming an extensive interview, and I'm really enjoying this one because you're expressing a lot of people feel. Do you feel that someone is keeping the black American from landing because wherever you land, you never know.
It's white supremacy. It's not even just America. It's globally, because, you know, they're connected. Now we can touch into things like Trilateral Commission and the UN and all these different things that first we got to address slavery in the United States of America. For 400, 500 years, free labor was given to this country. So this country was able, America was able to go into the world and have commerce and build up their wealth. So we were marginalized.
Is there ever a payback? Is there ever even a smooth landing for a person like this?
I never really felt like a smooth landing.
Because you're under stress.
Yeah, I'm under stress. So it just inside my home. Inside my home, what my family, we do, and we pray, and we Caribbean,
Thank
where
God.
we pray
Thank God
to,
for the church.
and we come together and
Yeah.
we just say, we pray and we say, and even my fiance, she says, babe, every time I go out there, I dress in a suit every day. But she still tells me, babe, be careful when you're going out there, you know, and you come home at night,
So
be
going out
careful.
there, you are just going anywhere.
Anywhere, even to
Anywhere.
work.
Even to work.
Even to work, yeah.
You're constantly under this stress.
Absolutely, constantly.
Again, introduce yourself to the people.
Again, I'm Alfred Dill, resident citizen of Newark.
New Jersey. Again, we're in Newark, New Jersey, and we're talking to a young man and we're expressing frustration, but expressing the fact that he don't know where to go because there's so much stress. And if you can't trust the police, who in the world can you trust?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.